Gary, he says, what if they had an anthology show, but Jamie plays, oh my God, Jamie plays he's really thinking exactly what I was just thinking 5 minutes ago. The voiceover for each episode, like the speakers in Halloween 3. I was actually thinking that, but I guess a little different. I was thinking, what if the next movie, and they've been keeping this under wraps for the whole time, what if the next movie is an actual sequel to Halloween 3? And Jamie Lee Curtis comes back as the voice again of like Davey, would you welcome a true sequel to? I'm getting chill bumps just thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
Let Michael Myers take a break, and he's my boy. Yeah. I love Michael Myers with all my bloody freaking heart, but give me a freaking true sequel with all practical effects for Halloween 3. Oh my God, dude, I would freaking do a backflip. That would be insanity.
I think they could do it. They could make it, modernize it, so you could have it be something that's like through the phones and everything. So instead of having to sit down and watch the big giveaway at 8 or whatever, you could have like the scan this QR code kind of thing, just another, just a way to take it. Yeah. Taking it global itself. And because basically playing a joke on the children. I love that line. I mean, Dan O'Hurley, is just so chilling as a villain in that film, but I love that idea of like culling the herd. It's this way for this cult to just like kind of wipe the slate clean in a way. And I think that you could certainly modernize that, right? It could be a commentary on the way society is, the blending of technology with, witchcraft. I mean, we're at the highest point technologically speaking, as every day passes. So I think there's an incredible opportunity there. And I think people would welcome it because even though people want to see Michael come back, I think I'm the same way. Like, he's my boy. Yeah. I'm cool with waiting. I think it would be nice to have that break. I think it would just be better when he finally does
when he
come
comes
back.
You'll just be like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long for this, And
it could be fresh. They could really figure out a good way to bring him back instead of just like, let's just set it in a different time and bring Michael back. Yeah, I think Season of the Witch, even if you wanted to do like if you did like a season of a show and you kind of wanted to like remake the original or something like that, or you wanted to like do that as a launch pad to sort of get everyone caught up in the mainstream world, I think that would be pretty awesome.
Fuck yeah. Nick, are you a fan of Halloween 3? And by the way, that score is the most underrated freaking horror score I've ever heard for Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good.
Oh yeah, I made a video a week and a half ago, I think, or something like that, where it was just titled like maybe the future of Halloween is Halloween 3. And I basically that was my pitch too. Like, let's give Myers a break. Like,
give him a break.
Why not build off of 3? So yeah, I'm totally down.
Yeah, and I kind of want to reboot. I want, guys, do you want a 21-year-old Myers again? Like, I kind of want a reboot of the whole thing.
Yeah,
just start fresh.
No more geriatric Myers.
I'm done with that. Yeah. Frederick L. He says most Halloween sequels are reboots. Well, I think Halloween is the one franchise besides maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's the one.
It'll do 1 or 2, maybe 3 movies if you're lucky, and then they got to restart again.
Yeah.
Although the first 6 movies are in continuity with each other, outside of 3, of course. So you got 5 movies there that were in continuity with, and then another super chat here. Gary, he says, I always had this voice in my head during the last trilogy, thinking he's talking about Halloween trilogy, that said, I miss just having a plain white mask cut because it's been years. And then after H kills, I was like, yeah, I really need a young Michael movie. So I think he's commenting on what I was talking about earlier about, I just think there's, if you're going to reboot, have a young Michael Myers, and then you have carte blanche to go forward. Although this is another topic, but what is it with remakes not continuing past 2 movies? You notice that, like, you had Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. There's very few like examples of rebooting a franchise and then being able to get past like 2 movies. I don't know why that is. Short attention span. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, with Friday and A Nightmare on Elm Street, they didn't even get past 1.
Yeah. Most of them don't get past 1.
At least with Rob, it was like that was a conscious decision. The studio wanted to keep going, and Rob was like, "Nope, I'm killing them all." you can't make a sequel to this one, buddy. And then that's why they were like, gotta have a different ending for the theater. And he said, son of a bitch. So he let Lori live. And which I actually do prefer that ending too, by the way, where Lori lives. But and then they tried, and then the Weinsteins went bankrupt, so they couldn't make a third one. But yeah, I don't know. I've always wondered that too, because most of the time these things make money. Like they make good money. It's like, why wasn't there a follow-up? But some of them,
and you do have modern, like Hatchet. I think, does Hatchet have like 4 movies? And we're about to get the 4th Terrifier. So it's not that like it doesn't exist, but it doesn't really exist with remakes for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's because people, they go back and watch the originals, and so I don't know. I don't know if the movies make money, why not continue? It's very
well, and back in the 80s, it was just different, right? It was just like, oh, once a year we're going to put out one of these. It's going to make a bunch of money, and now it's sort of like you're going back to the well, and there's a bit of a cynicism there, I think, as far as going back to that well. But also, I think at the same time, it's like let's try to plan out like something that's a little smaller in scope. So we're just going to do a few of these and get the hell out,
Jamie Hart says, hot take, I don't need any more Halloween movies. I don't need any more Halloween movies until I do. I think that's usually how it goes. I do like a nice break, but I remember when it was first announced that John Carpenter was coming back as an executive producer. That was like the start of it all. They had a plan. And I remember, man, there was just a freaking I don't know, like a frenzy. Like the horror community just got lit on fire when Halloween 2018 was announced for some reason. And I think that was just because of a perfect storm of timing. And you had Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. You had John Carpenter doing the score. And you had a current hot director doing the movie. And it was big. You know? And I don't think a lot of people remember, especially younger people, remember before Halloween 2018, the franchise wasn't doing that well. I mean, we had Rob Zombie's 2 movies. And then there was just like this really big lull for a long time. And even I, because we had Halloween Returns coming out, which wasn't going to be like what Halloween 2018 was. It was still going to be more of a smaller scale Halloween type movie that's just, maybe for the cultish type fans. That's what Halloween was at the time. And then all of a sudden Halloween 2018 comes out and you had freaking Joe Sixpack going to see a Halloween movie.
Oh, no. People don't understand how big that was and how much the announcement broke the friggin' internet, dude. I remember that. And then I remember the week before it came out, I had an ex-girlfriend that I dated for 2 years from when I was 17 to when I was 19. And I hadn't talked to her in 5 years, but we were still like mutuals on social media. She messaged me the week that Halloween 2018 was coming out. And she said, because I posted something to one of my stories. She said, OMG, I'm so excited to go see this. You have no idea. That was not her bag at all. So it's just like, I don't think people realized, like, yeah, dude, that movie made over $250 million. Like it's the highest grossing slasher movie ever. Like that's that thing was just a moment in time, man.
My coworker, it really was at the time, he wasn't he's not a like a horror fan or anything, and his daughter, the very first Halloween movie she ever saw was Halloween 2018, and she didn't even know that there were other Halloween movies before that. That's how big Halloween 2018 was, and it brought a lot of people over to the franchise, including her. He said his daughter was like, oh my god, I love this freaking franchise. I didn't know there were previous movies. Let me go check them out. That's what Halloween 2018 did. It brought the franchise back in such a big way. And I think we all hope that that'll happen with Friday and Nightmare, but I almost think it's like a freaking, Halley's Comet. Like the chances of that happening again to that level for one of the big 3, man, it was just lightning in a bottle, I think.
Well, it's like getting the band back together. So we were fortunate that Carpenter lasted long enough to make a return, and that those relationships could be healed. But now, with the Nightmare on Elm Street, we unfortunately don't have Wes anymore. And then with Friday the 13th, it's Sean S. Cunningham seems to like take some sort of pleasure from withholding his cooperation. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is like having a great band come back together after about 40 years of nothing.
And do 3 albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that helped that it was a trilogy. It just even if you don't like Kills and Ends, it kept that freaking fever alive, because before the people saw those movies and disliked them, that's all people talked about on YouTube, in the horror circles. Those freaking Halloween updates were massive. Well, hello there. You just watched an outrageous clip from the Hit the Bricks podcast. I really hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more clips, you can click here or you can click here. And you can just have yourself a ball, all right? And also follow the Hit the Bricks podcast on Spotify as well. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.